Live. Hey, if you're in there, pop in. This is live stream number 2. The first one I was actually number 2. Thanks, NK. I was down. You're listening to me talk down. Let's reword on the bedroom. You wouldn't hear us from the bedroom. The room's on the other side of the house. All right. So anyway, if you're in there, come in and say hi. Don't be shy. We are live streaming for more videos of palm trees, so I will upload them here or on my other channel. Yeah. Everybody's disappeared. You're here for the first one, but I wasn't here. Now I'm here and you're not here. It's kind of funny. Here's my connection. It comes and goes, so bear with me, folks. I am looking forward to dinner. They're making pea soup. Split pea soup, man. Hey, guys, come on in and say hi. Don't be shy. I'm not shy. Sorry I missed you on the first one. That's why I started the second live stream. Like I say, I went down to socialize. And while I was socializing, a bunch of people came in on the stream, so... Not very good. I know they're watching something down there in the living room, so it might affect the internet. I like those cookies, man. They're good. Those are awesome. One viewer, pop in, say hi. 2 viewers, don't be shy. That takes a while to thaw that baby out. 10-pound chicken. That's what we're having for dinner in a couple of days, a 10-pound chicken. You know, they look like turkeys. You stuff them like a turkey, too. They are just incredible. They're these free-range, locally grown chickens here on our island. Guy raises a bunch of them. Hey, there we go, Garrett. Hey, I'll tell you what happened. I started the live stream, the first one. This is the second company. Wendy's daughter and our living room watching something on bit. So I went down there, and I thought I'd be down there for just a couple of minutes. Well, then I got caught up on the YouTube video. Hear us in our bedroom because our bedroom's at the other side of the house. So we're in the living room yapping. So sorry about that. I apologize. I'm here now. So if you guys want to pop in, say hi. And got a cloudy day here on Salt Spring Island. And, well, the snow's melting, thank God. It rained out all yesterday. Today, no rain, but I did make it to town. I went to town and I shot some videos of some nice palm trees. It was nice, and I went to the coffee shop, too, to get my socializing in, because I like to socialize. And when I'm not socializing in town, I'm socializing on my two-way radio. Talk to the world and socialize that way. So hope all is well where you guys are. Garrett, you're the only one in there right now. There's a few people in there before. If I hang around long enough, then maybe they'll come. It's going good, Garrett. How are you doing? Whereabouts are you? We're here in the Southern Gulf Islands. up here off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia, out in the ocean, off the extreme southwest corner, as far southwest as you can get. That's where we are, out in the ocean. Same archipelago as Washington State, San Juan Islands. So that's where we can see the San Juan Islands in Washington State from our island. So same island chain, but there's like an imaginary line that kind of just separates us. So anyway, all is well here. And hung around and did diddly squat. Hung around anyway. I went to, what time did I stay up to? 12:20, 25, something like that. Whereabouts are you, Garrett? Are you down in the deep south? Are you in Canada? Are you in Europe? I'm curious. Honolulu, it looks like it's going to rain. You're in Honolulu? Nice. I love Honolulu. I was married on the island of Oahu the first time around. I was married at a little park at Diamond Head. So you got Diamond Head Road, 3223 Diamond Head Road. Right at the base of Diamond Head, there's a little park there. Used to be a mansion there years ago, and they ripped it down many, many moons ago and made it into a park. So I was married on the island of Oahu. I love Hawaii. I often talk there on my two-way radios, and I got a little shelf in my man cave room here dedicated to just Hawaii. I got lots of Hawaiian things on it because I love Hawaii, and can't go wrong with Hawaii. Perfect climate. I like the culture of the Hawaiians, and I like the plants. I love the plants that grow in Hawaii. So you're in Honolulu. We like to go to Chinatown in Honolulu. Yeah, we go to Chinatown in Honolulu and eat at the really good Chinese restaurant there. Go down to Hotel Street and go down to see the old Sealer Jerry tattoo shop, Old Ironside. And actually, I got some good photos at Queen right on Kuhio Street in Waikiki, right under the Ohana Waikiki tattoo, the Tiki Tattoo on Kuhio Street, and then over by the Alawai Canal at Tattoolicious. Hi, Joe Pay, right from down under. Came across your channel looking up stuff in relation to this. Oh, cool. Just curious of how or some could help with making QSL cards. You got to design them and you go to a print shop. That's what you do. Go to a print shop. So I designed my very first ones in 1977, and I got 2 batches made up. I got one, actually, the first ones I designed in 77, and I got them printed in early 78. And then I got some more printed in 78 because I went through a lot of them when I was a kid. And then, so I got a couple of thousand of those. I had some gold ones and some green ones with different pictures on them. Like my second batch I got looked like this. See, that's my second batch I got. Those are from 1978. You know, it's got my thing on it. And then I got these ones made in North Carolina in 1981. Here are my, it's got my call channel, the backing on it, right? The QSL card, kind of, you can put the station you talk to and everything. And then I got these ones here. So I designed those myself and then sent them to the design to North Carolina, and they made them for me there. And I got 2,000 of them made, and I'm still actually using those ones if people want to send QSL cards. So anyway, I hope Europe reopens back up again. Yeah, I wonder. Anyway, the only skip I heard today on the radio was I was in my vehicle and I was driving to town in my mobile, and I heard some skip coming in, DX coming in on channel 27285 on AM, but they didn't hear me. And the radio's pretty quiet here at night. Nobody master. So, and then I got another one too, and I don't have it here. It's down in the QSL box. So this was the second ones I ever made when I was a kid. I made these ones when I was about 14, something like that, 14 years old. I kind of designed them. And there's my microphone. I even had my microphone back then, my D104. And then the very first ones, I'll have to find them in the QSL box, and I'll show you what my first ones looked like. They were made, I designed them in 77 when I got into radio, and I got them printed in early 78. So I will find them, and I'll go down there tomorrow, and I'll search for them, and I'll bring one up, and I'll show you what my very first cards look like. So those are the different designs with shortwave radio around the world, right? Oh, there goes my signal. My connection just went. Sorry about that, guys. Bad internet connection here. So it's kind. And I do enjoy your channel there, Wagon Master. And I do have another channel as well. My main channel is actually Banana JSSI. That is actually my main YouTube channel. Then I have another channel that I started many, many moons ago that's not active. And there's like 1,000 and something videos on that one as well. That's when I started eons ago, I think in 2008. So from down under, hi. And I've talked to Australia a lot on Spoken Answers, believe it or not. I've talked to print shop, or even look online. Maybe someone online is doing them. Here we use 27335. Yeah, and I've talked to many Aussies on 27335. Down under, it is once a year, a lucky deer round. Oh, is that right? Interesting. Yeah, I do hear a lot of Aussies there, and I've talked to a lot of them on 35. I mean, I've talked to them all over. I've even, the farthest. Have I ever talked to Australia on AM? I'm trying to think. I've talked to New Zealand on AM many, many years ago. It would have been over 40 years ago that I talked to New Zealand on AM, and it was on 26535. I'll never forget it. And I was talking to a buddy that lived in the same town. I live south of Vancouver, right near the U.S. Canada Washington border. And I lived in a little town called Langley. And I remember I'm talking to this guy. He was about maybe 3 miles from me, something like that, 3 miles max. And we're talking, and I could hear somebody in the distance. He didn't really hear him very well. I had a beam antenna, and he could hear them very, very faintly. And I could hear them kind of faintly, but maybe better than him. And I swung the house around to the southwest, and that's where the signal was best. And brought their signal up, and on stock power out of my TRC 452, which I still have beside me, I talked to some people in New Zealand on AM, and I did actually QSL with them. I was running a high gain beam antenna, 2-element high gain quad. And actually, I just bought another antenna yesterday or the day before. It should be coming from England. It's a high gain, what do they call it? A high gain silver rod or venom or something like that, a 5/8 wave aluminum. So we're going to put that up in the spring, hopefully on the roof of the house. We're going to put that up there. So I'll do a video on that one when it comes in. So this is more of my radio channel, more of my random channel, and my other channels pertains more to exotic gardening. But there are a lot of videos there on radios as well, like that go back. So if you go back maybe 7, 8 years, you'll see some of my videos on radio, me talking DX there to Europe and stuff like that. So all the down unders only once a year if you're lucky to around before Christmas time. Interesting. I used to hear Australia every single day when when the sun cycle was really good, it would be coming in all the time. And I'm going way back into the 70s and early 80s. Bought a brand new off-am operator, HF radio, 11 meter. Oh, cool, man. Awesome. And what's the power? How much power does that rig put out? This one puts out 25 watts, this RCI 2980WX, right? And then the RCI 2970 is like 120 or 150, something like that. It's been peaked up, and it cranks it out on AM too. So I talk a lot of DX on AM on that one. And like I say, I do have an old Citizen MPL5 in my truck. I bought in 1979, 1980, somewhere around there, and the thing still works. I used to talk DX on it many, many years ago in my car. I had a mag mount in my car. Now I got a Tram 300 mag mount for my truck. And I did work only 2 stations on it and the DX on AM. Also have a new Yaesu 891, but used YouTube to watch it. Then myself and watch it and do it. Oh, wow. You're going to do the Mars. Cool, man. That's awesome. I love Yaesu. Wish I could get a decent amp. Yeah, foot warmers. The very first amp I had was a Crisp Big Boomer. It was around 1979. I think I got it. I got a picture of it, I think, in one of my thumbnails here. It was 600 watts. It was a tube-driven amp and had a big fan in it. I think the thing must have weighed about 25 pounds. But yeah, I have 2 amps here right now. I got a Texas Star High Drive 350 and a Texas Star 500, so half a kilowatt. And they crank out the power. I like them because they're variable. I try not to use them that much. Only if somebody is having trouble hearing me, in the distance when I'm working DX, I'll turn on the linear and crank the fire in the wire. Put the horsepower. I say turn up the horsepower, right? But turn up the horsepower and put some fire in the wire. So we got the 500 watt Texas Star High Drive. I was looking at a kilowatt, but I think the 500 watt is good enough. And I pretty much talk where I want to. Camels in there. Good. Awesome. Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry about the live stream. The very first one I started, like I say, I left the room. There was a bunch of people in here, and I left the room to go socialize, and time got away from me. And then I got back. It's like, oh my God, there's people in the live stream. I tried to sell the Yaesu 890, couldn't get one, so I did the license for ham radios. Oh wow, cool. So do you guys actually need a license for CB radio down under? Like here, you don't need it. Years ago, you had to have it. So my call number back in the day it's actually on here. That's my call number right there, XM12 6128. And that's where I get the 612 from for my, when I call DX on AM, 612, unit 612. So XM12 6128 was my call number, right, on AM. And we had to renew our license every 3 years. Camera ops just arrived earlier, potted. Oh, cool. You like camera ops. It'll be good in your garden. All our camera ops did good. Any ones that I've seen around the island are totally fine. It just never got cold enough. Like I say, our low temperature in our garden here was 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Down in the ravine, a little bit different. We're about, a 1.4 degree difference in temperature down there. So colder down there. But thank God we didn't have the wind. All the plants so far look pretty good. There's a few flop little cordy lines, but everything else is so far so good. And we'll do an update in the spring. The RM Italy 705 kind of, I like those ones. No, here we have to have a license only now for the ham. Okay. Okay, so you only need it for amateur. Yeah, I was looking at those RM Italian foot warmers. They're nice. I was actually on the website yesterday looking at those. Those are pretty cool. Pretty cool amps and pretty reasonable price. I don't want to plant it in the ground. We're getting -6. Yeah, there's some cold air coming down south, going right down to Mississippi. I saw the weather. So the cold's coming right down from the prairies. Ours is done here now, but it's still not normal temperatures. We're still below normal, but we're above freezing. And the strange thing is I can use 11 meter. Oh, cool. Oh, you got the beam antenna. Nice. Yeah, I don't have a beam antenna anymore. I have an IMAX 2000. I have an Antron 99, and I got the high gain gold, silver pole or Venom, whatever. I think it's a Venom, high gain Venom coming. So it's 19 something feet in length. It's got 3 ground planes on the bottom, and it's supposed to put out 4.6. I think it's 4.6 dB gain. It's just Tsunami. Still zone 9. Yeah, it is zone 9. Yeah, -6. Anything below 20 is into 8B, high end 8B. Have a 4-element and 2 verticals. 4-element would be awesome. I would like to get a 3-element flat side Yagi. Half waves are great. My very first antenna I got when I was a kid was a half wave ground plane from Radio Shack. So it had 3 ground planes on the bottom. I think the antenna was maybe 16 or 18 foot, the vertical. And then it had 3 little things on the top of it, the static arresters. So half waves. So I have an Antron 99 I've had up here for it's about 30 years. And then I got and I have an IMAX 2000 I've had up for about 8 years. Sometimes I find that Antron actually gets out better than the IMAX. I got the IMAX hooked up to my RCI 2980, and I have the Antron hooked up to the RCI 2970. When I get my high gain, I'm going to hook it up to my 458. My 458 I still use, and I'm just not going to have to switch the antenna. And I got some Belden 8U. I got some thick coax, and I will put I think I'm going to put that new antenna up on the roof of the house and hook that to the old TRC 458. And that 458 is still working, but unfortunately I blew the AM out of it. My bad. Quite a few years ago, putting the amp on it. So I only have sideband on it. I wish I could get it fixed. There's no techies around here. No techies, and I'm not a techie, so I'm not about to open it up and take the golden screwdriver to it. I have 2 458s, and that one ain't working very well. 18 feet, 8 towers, one with the top. Cool. 20 off the ground, 60. Oh, wow, 640 to 60. Okay. Mine are about 20 feet off the ground, something like that. And they seem to work pretty good. My elevation here above sea level is 160. We're about 160 feet. When I did have a cell phone from work, I had it with me one day. It's got those altimeters on it, 160 feet. And from the ocean, we're about 900 feet or so, like roughly about 900 feet or so, like walking distance across the street to the Pacific Ocean, But yeah, elevation does help. Here most sit on LSP, very rare. Oh, really? Cool. Well, I like working a lot of AMDX because it's kind of a challenge. It's more challenging working it on lower power. But you know what? I do talk honestly mostly single sideband. Most of the DX I've worked for years is single sideband, except when I had my very first radio in 1977, and it only had AM capabilities. Then in February 1978, I got my 458 with sideband on it. Oh, you get Hawaii too. Cool. Yeah. So when Australia comes in, well, naturally we're going to get the Central Pacific as well. So Hawaii being the Central Pacific and you guys the South Pacific, and we also get New Zealand and Tasmania. On Channel 11, the Asian booties. Oh, yeah. I used to hear a lot of Japan and stuff like that. Don't hear them much anymore. Pretty much every night. That would have been in the early 1980s. I'm going to say 1981. The US DX would fade out. The Australian DX would fade out. And you go down into AM side, it'd be nothing but Japan coming in. Lots of Japanese stations booming in here. I'm sure they were running illegal power. But yeah, that was back in the day, back in the good old days. And some of the AM skip actually reminds me of that. Mm-hmm. See if anybody's on there. Turn her on. (791) QSX. Anybody out there just want to know if I'm making it out? Quiet. Our channels are dead, man. Like, there's rarely any local people on here. So let me just flip through the channels. I'm on sideband right now. Let me just go to AM. This one's got FM on it too. Go through every channel. Nothing. See? That's what the CB radio is like nowadays. So years ago on CB radio, you could flip through the channels and there'd be somebody, pretty much on every channel talking. But it ain't like that anymore. It's different. I guess more people, like I say, are into the computer and they got their iPhones, so they just can't be. Younger generation, I don't think, can be bothered with CB radio. It's just not their thing. And it's a shame. Like, it's something I never got out of. And, the only reason I really got into CB radio is because when I was a kid, my dad bought a CB receiver. And you couldn't talk on it. You could only receive. And it had a little antenna on it, and a little dial on it. It had 23 channels. And I remember just listening to all the skip. And I didn't even know what skip was. I just heard people talking like from Illinois, Indiana, Texas, wherever, talking kind of funny CB lingo. And I said, we'd listen to this thing every day when the skip was coming in 1976. And I go, Dad, it'd be so cool if I could talk to those people. So Mom and Dad in 1977 took me to Radio Shack. And I picked out a radio, my very first radio, picked out an antenna and a power supply. Still got my original power supply. And the very first skip station I talked to in 1977 was a guy on AM. His handle was Short Change, and he was in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. I think it was New Orleans. And he sent me a QSL card. And that was the very first QSL card I had. And if I can find it in my QSL box, it's in there. I'll do a video of it and I'll show you. 555. Yeah, that's where I work. On upper sideband 555, I call for international on that one. And I've worked a lot of European stations on 555. But lately, I haven't heard any Europe. I have not heard Europe for a long time. But, in the past, I've made some really good European contacts just on my ground planes. I've only had ground planes since I've lived here the last few decades at this location. And I've worked Europe on them many times, and Australia too. But, I do put a little bit of fire in the wire too, right? I still got my first decent. I'm thinking of putting it hard plastic. Oh, cool. Nice. That's awesome. It's a Stalker 9. A Stalker 9. Cool. So is that like a 40 channel radio? And I still actually have a really old radio. I have a bunch of old radios, so I got more radios too. There's one here sitting in front of me, an old TRC 48 with it's 23 channel sideband base station from Radio Shack. It had been circa 1975, I'm thinking, 76, and it's got a Siltronics Model 90 variable frequency oscillator VFO. I got hooked up to it from a techie when I was like a teenager. AM USB, cool. Stalker 9. That's a good radio, huh? Is that your first radio? That's pretty neat. It's pretty neat that you hung on to that, man. A lot of people get rid of stuff from back in the day. You know what I mean? I'm one to hang on to a lot of things. And like I say, I got a bunch of radios out in the shed. And I'm still using a really old radio in my truck too. It's so far so good. It works. It's an old Citizen MPL5. Old Faithful is retired. Yeah. Well, I still, like I say, I use my 458 once in a blue moon. Once I get my, when I lived in Port Angeles, I worked. Cool. That's interesting. I've been to Port Angeles many times, and we actually stayed at a hotel in Port Angeles once. So when we go to the Oregon coast, when we went to the Oregon coast, I take the ferry from Victoria to Port Angeles called the Coho Ferry. It's an hour and a half across. So the customs is actually the U.S. Customs or Canadian Customs, whatever, is right at the ferry terminal in Victoria. You hop on the ferry, you go across to Port Angeles. And one time, actually, when we landed there, we stayed at a hotel. And then the next morning, we got up and we carried down the coast. We went to Squim, then to Olympia over to Aberdeen, and then you're on Highway 1, and then we go down to the Oregon coast. We love the Oregon coast. But that's pretty cool that you worked more Australian stations out of the portable than the base station. And I bet you had a good portable RV park. Oh, you owned an RV park there. Cool. That's pretty awesome. I like Port Angeles. That's a pretty neat place. Not a bad place at all, actually. Beautiful mountains there. You can see those mountains easily from Victoria. The Olympic Mountain, right? Aren't they just beautiful? It's a really, really great area. And you can actually go to the coast, I think the Coast Highway going to the right. So if I went to Port Angeles, instead of going left, go right. Caleb's in there. How's it going? Did you get those seeds yet, Caleb? I did mail you some palm seeds. So let me know when they reach Oregon. And now, Wagon Master, you're in Nevada, right? Are you down in Nevada somewhere? Oh, cool. Bouchard Gardens is pretty nice. I have not been there for a long time. And you know where there's some other nice gardens too, if you're in Vancouver, is Van Dusen. I'm thinking of just going now mobile instead of every day, not getting out seating in base. Yeah. It's nice. Mobiles are kind of fun. Going to the gym tonight to meet my person. Oh, cool. Personal trainer. Awesome. I'm my own personal trainer. I've been training for a long time, so I'm my own personal trainer, but good for you, man. Love going over to the island. Yeah, so we're on Salt Spring Island, Wagon Master. We're on the Southern Gulf Islands, right? So you know your geography. You know where Washington State San Juan Islands are. Well, we're in the Southern Gulf Islands, looking right at the San Juans. We're on the Salt Spring Island, and the San Juan Islands is the same archipelago as us. How much is a good price for one? What, like a trainer or a gym? Because I don't have a trainer. I've never had a trainer. I just got my own gyms. I got free weights downstairs and I got a Bowflex upstairs. By the way, this is Romeo Alpha. Okay, so I'm Alpha Uniform 791. My number's out of Australia, right? And 9 divisions BC, British Columbia. So 9 Alpha Uniform 791. Or 9 Alpha 9 might be Canada. Queensland, Australia. Cool. I've talked there many times. 10-4. So Wagon Master, you know where Salt Spring is. Right on. Yeah, that's cool. How much do you charge for being a personal trainer? No, I don't charge anything because I'm not a personal trainer. I just kind of train myself. I'm my own personal trainer. So yeah, I'm not a personal trainer. I got my own routine set up, Caleb. I go in 5 days a week, and I have been since I was like, a kid. I started in September 81, so I've been doing it a long time. Never been to the States. You've never been to the States? Oh, got to go to the States, man. U.S. is awesome. I got a lot of friends in the U.S., and great country, man. If I could live there right now, I would. I'd get out of this country and move to the States, but I can't. I'd love to be in the States. I think maybe Texas, Florida is a good one to be in. I don't know what it's like in Nevada right now, but Montana would be good, but I got to be somewhere where it's warm. I like warmth. And that's why I live in this part of Canada. It's the mildest part of Canada. I don't want to live anywhere else in Canada. It's too cold for me. You know what I mean? You get to Edmonton, it's minus 30 degrees all winter. Forget it. Florida would be good. Yeah, I'd like Florida. Florida's warm and it's free down there too. I think you can do what you want. Up here, it's becoming more like China, and I don't like that. So I talked to a lot of people in Florida. Had to meet the famous Gator Land skip shooter 181. Might know him. Gator Land Year Way skip shooter. I wonder if I've talked to him. Had to meet the famous Gator Land. I mean, I talked to so many people, and it's hard to say. I talked to a lot of people in the Deep South, put it that way. You know what's interesting? So, last week I talked to a guy, and his handle was Goat Roper. So that was my original Goat Roper back when I was a kid. I had it for years because we had goats. And I talked to this guy, the Goat Roper, in Arkansas, and I actually got a video of me talking to him. It's on here. You can see it. Working skip in Arkansas in the Razorback State and the goat roper, and actually had a good QSO, a short QSO with him, but he was pushing in a really good signal here to the Southern Gulf Islands. Texas is good too. Yeah, I got a friend that's in Texas right now. He just moved there. Had to meet the famous Gator. That's cool. I've met a lot of people off the radio over the years, and I met a lot of people off YouTube as well. Lots of people off YouTube I've bumped into, or they've been on our island and they recognize my voice more from my other channel, not this one. My other channel's got more subscribers, so more people from that one maybe would recognize me. And many people over the years have come up to me in the park, and it's like, and I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. I think the wildest time was I was going into this Honolulu Zoo with Wendy, and there was these two guys standing there, and they came up to me, said, "Hey man, we watch your channel." I thought that's super cool. So I got a video of them. I think it might be on Wendy's channel on Gulf Island Rock. Got a video of them, of me with these guys that watch my channel, and I bumped into them in Honolulu of all places. Honolulu, going into the Honolulu Zoo, which is pretty wild. So to me, it's a small world. And maybe one day I'll get to meet some of you guys, which would be cool, right? You never know. It's right down the very bottom part of the states you're in, called where the most the swamplands, probably be Louisiana. Have you ever heard the desert rat or near Vegas? I don't hear Vegas that much, although I've talked there a lot. I just haven't heard Vegas in a while. Interesting. And I can tell you one thing, I have talked to every single state many, many times. The ones we don't hear quite as much are Vermont, New Hampshire, like Rhode Island. I did talk there last week, and a few of those states up in the New England. But once in a while, they come in. Any info in Costa Rica? Yeah. So Wendy, I said to Wendy, you got to phone Honolulu today and find out where our marriage certificate is, because we had to send it back to Honolulu to get it apostolized because we got married on Maui, and Costa Rica wanted that. So she phoned them today, and they said, "Where's our marriage certificate? We have to send this with the package into Costa Rica consulate." And they said, "Well, they already send it to the consulate," which kind of upset us because they're supposed to send it back to us. But anyway, so they now have our marriage certificate. So now we have to send in the rest of the package. So that's the deal. That's how it's going right now. And basically, we only got about 3 more months to get everything done, because you got a 6-month window to get stuff done. So we got 3 more months. So hopefully the time doesn't lapse or we're screwed, right? And right now we're kind of screwed anyway, Caleb. We really can't leave Canada because we don't have the 2 tablespoons of special medicine in us. So that's how we stand right now, right? We're just hanging out and seeing what's going on. Yeah. So Unspoken, you've heard maybe him twice. Yeah. A lot of times I hear the same people every day if I'm on the same channel. So when I go to 27285, there's a lot of guys I talk to, daily. And, it's just basically waving and saying hi to them in the States. Yeah, it's a long way to swim, man. And the water's too cold for me. So we're going to find out what's going to go on. And, and they're going to have to send us back our marriage certificate too. Well, I guess if I every year in USB, nickel 55. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Unspoken answers. When I was on triple nickel, it was just around Christmas time. There's one of the YouTube viewers here. I'm out there calling CQDX International on upper sideband 555. And one of my YouTube viewers here contacted me. He called me. I got a video of me talking to him here, and he was in Ottawa, which is really cool. Ray, Queensland. WIKGB Queensland. I'm also World Radio 1657. World Radio 1657, but I usually use my Australian number, 9 Alpha Uniform 791. And 791 I've had since the 1970s. It's this unit number I got from some group I joined somewhere in the States. I think it was in the States. Could have been in Eastern Canada. And so they gave me a unit number. They said, your unit number for skip is 791. So I used that one for sideband. I've always used it for sideband. And I think I even have it on my card here. Let's see. I do. See it on my card, right? Let's see. Can you see that? Where's 791? It's hard to see. You see that? 791. Right there. So anyway, I've used that number for a long time. So when I was working somebody in Australia one time, he asked me if I wanted to join the Alpha Uniform group out of Australia. And I said, sure, why not? So I said, can I use my own number? He says, absolutely. So he looked in his thing. There was no 791. So that's why I have Alpha Uniform, 9 Alpha Uniform 791. Went metal detecting earlier, nothing. Oh, I love metal detectors, man. You're lucky. I wish I had one. One of these days, maybe. one of these days, if we ever move out of Canada and I go to Costa Rica, I can go combing the beaches of Costa Rica with a metal detector. I need to be somewhere tropical, and I need to bring my radio equipment with me. So that's most important. I got to bring my radio equipment with me. I cannot leave without my radio equipment because I do like to chit chat on the 11 meter band. And they got a few ham operators on our island that say, "Hey Joe, you should just get your ham license." I have too much fun talking on the old 11 meter band. It's fine. I can talk, skip and DX, whatever, skip/DX when the conditions are right. And you know what I mean? It's just too much of a hassle to get a ham license. Forget it. Can't be bothered. Then you got to probably renew it all the time. So I'm happy. These radios are ham radios, but it's got the 11 meter in it, right? I got that one new. And then my DX 2970, I actually bought used from a guy in New York. The borders open Canada, US without medicine. Would you move? Yeah, well, I can't. It's not easy for me to move to the States. I don't know how I would. I mean, I'm retired, but I don't know how I would actually move to the States because it's kind of tricky, isn't it, for a Canadian to move to the States? So I don't know. I don't really know the process to the States. It's easy to move to Costa Rica, though. You don't have to have a lot of money to actually survive in Costa Rica. Yeah, I could move to Florida if it's open and free. I'm all about that, man. I'm about freedom and freedom of choice. So yeah, Florida looks like a good place. Like I say, my oldest son lived in Texas. He lived in Weslaco, Texas. That was in 2011. He lived in Texas, married a girl down there, and yeah, brought her back here. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Only time will tell, Caleb. Only time will tell. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool that you're starting to get a personal trainer and work out. That's very awesome of you. Working out is good for you, man. They're talking about making it mandatory in Canada, everybody to get the special medicine. So they're going to have to hold me down, man. I'll be using firepower if they come for me. That's for sure. The redneck instincts will be kicking out full force because I am a redneck, and I would be pretty upset if they came for me. I'll tell you that. So anyway, you'll have fun working out, and you know what? After a while, it just becomes a routine. The thing when you start lifting weights, it does become routine. So for me, it's just a habit. I've been doing it so long, it would feel weird if I didn't work out. And I don't pump as much weight as I used to. I used to pump a lot more weight when I was younger, and I'd have guys come to my gym and work out with me. I mean, you might as well get the thing. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I'll be last in line. Wendy's sister just got over the flu. That flu, she's got 2 tablespoons of it in her. 22,000 foot power tower, Joe. Fire in the wire. Hey, unspoken. You know what? There are guys down in the deep south on those radios, and those guys I heard are putting over 10 to 20,000 watts out. So these are the guys that are still booming in here when the DX is faded out. So when your DX is coming all day, you go down to channel 6, and you can still hear these guys swinging the needle up into the red, and everything else is gone. They are just booming in here, and they're running major, major power. And these are the guys that are booming in all time. There's Motor Mouth Mall. There's a bunch of guys down there in Louisiana, Mississippi they got a lot of fire in the wire, man. Anyway, Camel, I will be last in line for that. They would actually have to make it mandatory before they would have to come and try to hold me down to take it. It wouldn't be good. I'd put up a fight, put it that way. They'd have to try to hold me down, and I probably wouldn't be a very easy guy to hold down. So anyway, maybe I'll move to South Carolina. South Carolina would be a good place to move to. South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Tennessee. I haven't heard Zach in a while. Anybody ever hear from Zach? Where is Zach in Tennessee? Maybe he's just taking a break from YouTube. Usually Palm Nation pops in on the live streams. He's usually on my other live stream when I'm on Banana JSSI, and that's where I usually do live streams. And then, of course, I do them on Wendy's channel, Gulf Island Rock. Yeah, well, the only thing I don't like about Florida, it's too flat, and I don't like flat. I like mountains. I like hills. I like the topography. If I ever came to the States, actually on her alone, just to use the famous channel truckers. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Gulf Coast of Florida is good. I bet it is. That'd be nice down there. You know what? Our call channel on AM Unspoken Answers used to be 19, and our truckers channel in Canada used to be 1. And years ago, the truckers channel up this way in the States was 17 AM. That's what it used to be back in the day. But things have changed, right? And sideband used to be 14 to 17 and 31 to 40. Those are the sideband channels here. Gulf Coast of Florida, yeah. So Sanibel or Captiva Islands on the Gulf Coast side, which would be nice. So when my oldest son lived in Texas, he lived just west of Brownsville, which is on the Gulf Stream. He'd go to San Padre Island with his wife when it was his girlfriend, and they would stay the weekend in San Padre Island in the, I think it was San Padre in Brown. It was near off of Brownsville in the Gulf of Mexico, right? He liked it there, really tropical looking. He said we'd Skype with him. We'd always do Skyping. And where he lived in southern Texas, the streets were lined with Washingtonia robusta. It was pretty cool, man. It was really awesome. But she wanted to get out of Texas. What about Boulder, Colorado? Yep. Talking there many times too. Talking to Colorado lots of times. But haven't heard Colorado in a couple of weeks. They were coming in a couple of weeks. It was around Christmas time. Colorado was coming in. So, but like I say, today the radio was flat here. I couldn't hear anything, and I'm driving to town in my truck, and my mag mount Tram 300 antenna is picking DX up only on channel 28. I could hear only one guy talking, and he was in the deep south somewhere on channel 28. Everything was flat. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't that bizarre how that works? There. Go back a little bit further because I want to go rock down in my chair. So anyway, and you know, sometimes I would turn it on early in the morning and Europe would be coming in when I was a kid. Isn't that mountain hill country? Yeah, it is. There's lots of mountains in Colorado. And even where we live too, this island is full of mountains. Well, Australia's got big mountains too. So we grow a lot of Australian plants in our garden here, Unspoken. We have lots of eucalyptus trees. We have bottle brush, and we have a beautiful Tasmanian tree fern, and we have grevillea in our garden here. So there's a lot of Aussie plants from higher elevations that grow here on our island. And, you know, if you go to the highest mountains in Australia, Kosciuszko, it gets pretty cold up there. I mean, Kosciuszko is pretty high, and there's snow, and there's these snow gum eucalyptus trees that grow up there. Those are what we grow in our garden. That's one of many species of Australian gum trees in our garden here. And I love Australian gum trees. So of a total in use from, and you use HF radio. So of a total in use from, or USB. LSB. Yeah, don't use, the only time nobody uses USB here. It's very rare that anybody talks on upper sideband here. Most people are going to use upper sideband. They go to 27555 upper sideband and they make their international call. And it's very rare that anybody around here talks on USB except the Mexicans. They'll go up above 40 on the free band, and you will hear them talking on USB. It's kind of like there's not a whole lot of people below channel 1 on the free band. I go down there once in a while and I yap with people on 26915. It's pretty quiet down there. You go channel, 654321, really noisy with skip blasting in from everywhere. You go down to 915. It's usually pretty dead, and you can have actually a decent QSO on AM. That's the way it works. So it's nice to have the free bands, right? It's nice to have the free band, like it. And I've been on the free band for a long time now, coming up 42 years. 42 years I've had upper frequencies in my September. It was early September 1980. I got the free band put in my TRC 458. So I've been free banding it for a long time. There wasn't a lot of people that really had it back then. And on CB radio, they're just like, they got their 40 channel radios. That was it. So, if I wanted to get away from somebody causing H&D, I had another friend that had it, and we'd talk up there. I tried to over the last match. 27205. 27205. That's in between 19 and 20, right? That's the half channel kind of thing. Oh, and FM frequency dead too. Yeah. Never shoot skip on FM, but I do talk local. There's a local guy here that has FM. I was on Salt Spring, and he just got into radio a couple months ago. So I've talked to him. I helped him put up his antenna. Nice guy, excuse me. So we've talked FM. We talk on 27835 FM 27835. And then I talked to a guy over on the Big Island, which is that way, on FM once in a while. So, and the FM frequency. Yeah, FM is usually pretty dead, but this one's got FM and that one's got FM. And I was actually looking at another FM radio too, another little FM radio. So it's just AM and FM. And I might get one of those for the truck. FM is pretty cool. I do like the sound of FM radio. It's kind of a neat sound talking on the FM over the AM, right? So, but yeah, there's a lot to know about radios. You can have a lot of fun with them too. Yeah, I don't know how your radios are there. Like, is there a lot of local people talking right now when you turn on the radio, or is it dead like here? Like, all the CBers seem to be gone now. They're a thing of the past up here in Canada, at least where I live. Maybe in other parts of Canada, it's still popular. But, there used to be stores around. You could go buy them. Radio Shack would sell them, but you don't see them there anymore. It's kind of a shame. I used to love going in there as a kid, looking at all the different radios. It was kind of fun. But now, nope, you just don't see that stuff anymore. It's in the States, I think it's more popular. I mean, there's still radio shops in the States. So you guys pretty much use AM and LSB only with USB. Yeah, that's it. US 555 upper sideband. Nobody talks on it locally. It's only when the skip's rolling. And that's where you want to call for international. That's the international call channel is 555 27555 upper sideband. And so I go up there once in a while, but like I say, lately, I mean, if you watch my videos here, I shoot a lot of AMDX just because it's a lot of fun, and it does kind of bring back memories to me. When I'm talking, that DX is no different than when I was listening to it, in the 1970s or in the early 1980s. That's why I love between your channels now, 40 stock channel radios. Yeah, exactly. Higher freak channels. Yeah, that's pretty neat, isn't it? Yeah, we gotta love the high freaks and the lower freaks. So I don't know if you go down below 1. So this channel here, this radio right here, RCI 2980WX goes from 24 to 30 meg. And that one there goes from 24 to 30 meg, the DX. And the one in my car, the Citizen MPL5 in my car doesn't have any low freaks in it, but it goes up to 28235 into 10 meter. And then my 458 goes to 27805. It has all the half channels in it and a 5kc slider. It goes one channel below channel 1. My TRC 452 goes, like 30 or 40 channels below channel 1. And then I got the old 48 here. My TRC 48 goes a little bit below 1, but not much. But with the VFO on it, it goes up to 27845. I think that's what it is, 27845. And that was a 23 channel. I only use channel 11 once in a while, 11 AM. Okay, interesting. See, the one I talk on is 27285. When I'm making these skip videos here, it's mostly on 28, channel 28 on regular CB band. And I also like to talk on 26915. So if there's some skip coming in today or tomorrow, I'll make another video. I'm just uploading. I shot some the other day, so I put one on today. And I was talking to that guy the other day, the guy in Indiana, right? And because I know there's a lot of CB people out there that love watching CB videos, skip shooting videos. Like, I love watching. I watch the Wagon Master. I like to watch his channel. It's good. He does different things and mods on radios. Since I've got the Mars mod done last. Cool. Like the 385 instead of 38 even. Okay, well, yeah, I got a 5kc slider in my 458, so I can go down to 3800, right? So if I'm talking, you can slide half a kilohertz off frequency and get away from some of the noise, which is kind of nice. So when I got that done, I was 16 years old. And, I remember the reason I got that done, I was talking to some skip, and the guy said to me, I was talking skip somewhere in the States, and I was on channel, I don't know what channel I was on. I could have been channel 40 or something. And the guy said to me, do you have capabilities? And I said, what do you mean? I was just a kid, right? He said, do you have capabilities in that radio? Upper capabilities. And I said, no. He says, oh, okay, because I wanted to go up higher, like the 27425, and we could get away from this noise. I said, upper capabilities, I need those for my radio. So like the next week, I knew a techie that lived near Vancouver, just south of Vancouver. He was a ham operator. So I took my radio to the guy and he put all the stuff in it for me. I left it there for a week. I was 16 years old and he put my channels in there for me and never looked back, man. I always had the extra freaks. And now, I mean, with these ham radios here, they got everything. And that thing's got Roger Beep in it. It's got Echo in it. It's got this, that, and the other. But I don't use the Roger. Well, sometimes I use the Roger Beep on AM, but I don't use the Echo thing. It's got an SWR in it, too. Actually, the other one's got an SWR as well. So that's pretty cool. Yasu 891. That's cool. Good radio, man. And sounds like you got a good setup. Well, you know, if I end up sticking around here and I don't go to Costa Rica, maybe I'll get myself a 3-element beam. That's what I need. I need to get a beam antenna. If I'm planning on sticking in this house for a while, because our plan is actually, to move out of Canada and get to Costa Rica. Wendy's looking at Mexico too. But if we can't get out of Canada and I'm going to stay here for a while, I think I'm going to buy me a 3-element beam. That's what I'm going to buy. I don't know when, but I'm looking at 3-element Serio beams. They're made in Italy, and just get a Channel Master rotor. I mean, the beams aren't heavy. I think the beam weighs maybe 12 pounds, 13 pounds, not very heavy. And on flat side, I just want it flat side, and that'll be good to go. I'll talk wherever I want. I'll put it up on the roof. I've only had one new maybe straight out of the States. I remember original. Oh, Galaxy. Oh, they're great. Cool. Galaxy are good radios. The only radio I bought from the States was my DX RCI 2970 DX. And I bought it from a guy in New York. I actually bought it on eBay. And I just remember what the thing said. This thing gets out amazing. It's peaked and it's tuned and it cranks out a lot of power. And it says, you know, basically for shooting skip, it's amazing, especially if you got the antenna. Antenna is a big thing too. And it's true. That thing gets out like crazy, my RCI. It cranks the power out, and I really have no problem talking AMDX on it. So that's why I use that one for the AMDX. It's a really nice radio. I do this one too. Like sometimes I'll be talking AMDX on this one too. So this is a D104 Tug 9. It's got the control on the bottom here to turn it up or down. It's a preamp. My other lollipop here is a Tug 8. You can see that. That's a Tug 8. I got that microphone about 44 years ago, something like that. I've had this one a long time. That's my original lollipop. It's from the 70s. And I used to shoot a lot of skip on it back in the day. The famous skip shooter uses Empire M-Pre all-band HF radio. The famous skip shooter. I wonder who that is, and I wonder if I've talked to him. Because I've shot a lot of skip in my time. So maybe I've worked that station before. The famous skip shooter. There is a guy called the skip shooter, actually. Actually, you know what? There's a guy called the skip shooter out of Alabama, and I've talked to him, and I might even have a video of me talking to him here. Sideman ones also. Yeah, no, they're okay. My 458s never give me problems, except I blew the AM out of it, which really sucks. It just really upsets me that I did that. Skip shooter 181 Gatorland. I wonder if I've talked to that guy. You'd have to look at my videos here because I do. There's one where I'm talking to a guy in Alabama, in southern Alabama, I think, or is he topside Alabama? And he calls himself the skip shooter. Oh, he's in Louisiana. Okay. Well, I talked to a guy. There's probably some Louisiana videos here too. If you go to this channel, let's just see. Let's just see here what we got here from Louisiana. Maybe I did talk to the Louisiana skip shooter. I'm just going to the videos here. And stations. I'm just looking here. Let me just check. God, there's just so many. Maryland. Arkansas. Well, you'd have to look through my videos here and see the Louisiana ones, because maybe I actually did talk to the guy. Alaska. It goes on and on. I got a lot of videos on here, so I can't keep up with them. I had one TRC radio. You could take the mic plug out and it would still be okay. Oh yeah, mine are like that. I can listen to my radios when I take the mics out of them. I got an old desk mic here. I'll show you. There's an old Radio Shack desk mic right there. You ever see one of those? And you can lock it too. Lock it, you pull it forward like there. So that's an old one from the 70s. It works pretty well. It's got a long cord on it. It's nice, not a bad mic. Piece of me, how's it going, man? Glad everything's doing well there in Seattle. Anyway, the old waving from Victoria diesel burner. Awesome, waving back at you, man. Victoria, neighbors. You're a neighbor. Victoria on the Big Island. We like to call it the Big Island. Just like the Hawaiian Islands. We're out here in the Gulf Islands. And diesel burner 1202 is on the Big Island, the capital of British Columbia, Victoria. Gotta love Victoria. It's where we get our dog groomed. We get our dog groomed there every 6 weeks in Goldstream, actually. Langford. Hey, piece of me. Everything doing good in Seattle. How's the Washingtonia doing, man? I did try desk mic, but never like to use it. You know what? I do like my, so I'm going to show you something here on this one. I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me okay there? So let me take this off. I cover it up so they don't get dust. This has got a nice mic on it. See that mic right there? That's a D104 handheld preamp. And it cranks, man. I keep her toned down a notch because it does. I don't want it to over mod. Here you getting shots, but can't hear you. Here you getting shots, but can't hear you over here. Here you getting shots. I'm not getting any shots. No shots for this guy. This guy is shot free. I think the last shot I had was a tetanus shot. And that was a long time ago. I was lifting a big tree into the back of someone's car where I used to work. And I busted my eye open on their trunk. It was a Volvo. And I busted that open. I was just going to put a Band-Aid on it, but it was a pretty good gash. And the boss made me go get, did I get stitches? Yeah, I got stitches and I got a tetanus shot. Do you know the Graco Deluxe model? Yeah, I remember Graco too. Yeah, dynamic mic or power mics. So I have 3 power mics. I have an old Radio Shack power mic handheld. Has a weird battery and a 7-volt. And then I have a D104. That's a power mic. That's a D104 Lollipop Tug 9 preamp. And then I got a handheld preamp as well. The other one's a Tug 8. So it's the other Lollipop's a crystal mic. Yeah. So I try to keep it turned down a bit. These power mics. The thing is with D104s, they're very powerful. That's a very powerful microphone. So I got it cranked down under halfway. On my radio, I also have a mic gain, and I keep that down too. The mic gain on there on both of the DX. I don't know if the DX. Yeah, the DX has a mic gain on it too. The other one. You're gonna go for the booster array? Yeah. No, I've had none here. 0 so far. I'm at the end of the line for those. Wendy and I know, but her son, well, her only son, he's here. He's had his 3rd. And my youngest son, he's had 2. And my daughter's had hers. My oldest son, I don't think has it. But my youngest son just got really sick. He got really sick with I'm going to say the flu. I got to watch what I say on here after his 2nd one. Not to know on the power mic, stock dynamic mics seem to be pretty. Oh, yeah, no, stock mics are great too. You know what? There's nothing wrong with a stock microphone. So I use a stock microphone on, I don't know if you can see that radio down there. See that little radio down there? That's my very first radio. That's a TRC 452. And then over there on the shelf, you see that radio right there? We go. There's a TRC 48 with a Siltronics VFO hooked up to it. Those have stock microphones on them. And you know what? Stock microphones are awesome. Nothing wrong with a stock microphone, man. Nothing wrong with them at all. I should actually get my other preamp out of the shed. I have a preamp, unless it's in here. Hang on. Maybe it's in here. It might be in here. There's a stock microphone from a RCI. Let's just see what we got. Other stock microphones. I got a bunch of mine. That's a Cobra microphone. Interesting. There's another microphone there, man. I got microphones all over the freaking place. I have microphones all over. I got 2 stock new RCI microphones. One for the RCI, because a stock microphone came with the RCI 2980WX, but I wanted my D104 hooked up to it, so I had to wire it. I had to get a special plug so it'll fit into it, and I wired that one up for it. TRC 453 are pretty good. They're right to use. Yeah, no, they're good. I don't mind the TRC radios. They're great. I think that was which mic out itself and listen to it. Yes, you could, and I can do it with mine too. I can still listen with receive. It'll still receive with the microphone out. So I'm going to show you something. There's a dipole antenna right there. This one right here. You see this? Here's a dipole antenna. I don't know if there's anybody on here. Let's see. Nothing. I just got it hooked up just for the fun of it right there. So anyway, I'm looking forward to my new antenna, and I will put that up when the weather gets better in the spring. So yeah, I remember the old realistic radios, man. There was so many of them. Like you go into Radio Shack, and Radio Shack is non-existent now. We don't have Radio Shack in Canada. They're gone. It's called the Source, right? Source now. Radio Shack is a thing of the past. And I used to love getting the new Radio Shack catalogs and just looking at the radios they had. It was pretty awesome, especially when you're a kid. What cable do you use with your stuff? 8U. Yeah, 5.8. I use the thick. I have Belden 5.8U, the big stuff, and then I got some skinnier stuff on this one. I'll show you. This one I have the skinnier stuff. It's not super skinny. It's one step up. It's the next one up. But I also have on my other RCI, that one over there, I got the Belden. You can see it sticking through the window right here. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that. See the white coax right here? That's a big one. That's big coax. That I bought. You know what? I used to have that on my beam antenna. I had vertical and horizontal on my beam. So I bought that in the late 1970s. I've had that a long time. 79 or 80, actually. What radio do you use to drive your Texas? I use this one right here. My Texas Star 500 goes on to this one. It's hooked up to my RCI 2980WX, and then I turn down the power. This radio puts out 25 and it's variable, so I turn down the power really low on this, and then it's variable on the amp. So, I start low, and if nobody can hear me, then I kind of just crank up the juice, and it does go up to 500 watts, which is nice, right? And then, like I say, the 350 high drive, you can see them right there. The 350, so the 500 is here, and the 350 is here. The 350 is on the 458, and the 500 is on this one here, on the RCI 2980. And my 2970 DX puts out between 120 and 150 watts right out of the radio, so I don't need any extra power on that one. RG58 is here, radio to use is TV cable. RG ear radio. Oh, interesting. Bell's CB radio. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I see it. And Bell's CB radio, I think, actually has a YouTube channel. And they're really very good guys over there. Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. So they'll ship. That is really good to know. I wonder if they'll fix stuff too. Huh. Steve Matthews waving. Hey, 748. Good to have some radio guys in here. That's kind of cool. So I've kind of dedicated this channel maybe more to radio stuff now. Like I've got older radio stuff on here from the past, but I started kind of putting more stuff on here. And it's amazing how many people watch the radio stuff. So waving back at you. And maybe we'll talk with you too. That's cool. And it's a good hobby. It's, what it is? It's like this. It's like a social thing. And that's what I said. When I was sitting in the coffee shop today, talking with some local guys, this one girl says to me, I've been kind of lonely and just not as much social stuff going on these days. I says, well, I'm a pretty social guy. And when I'm at home in my man cave here, I socialize with people all over the place when I'm on my radio. It's kind of like sitting in the coffee shop, but not sitting in the coffee shop. So I'm sitting in my man cave. I can have a cup of tea and I can work DX I can talk people, I can talk to people all over the world, which is fine. And that's my social outing, but I'm not out. I'm in. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. I've always enjoyed it. It's a really good hobby. And once any of you guys get you golf flat side beam or element, don't waste to the 3 element. Oh, really? Don't go for a 3 element, because I've always wanted to get just a 3 element. Yeah, I don't have the room. I don't think we have we have a big property here, but there's just too many trees around. So, I mean, to get too much of a big of a boom is probably going to smack into some of the trees. So I was just thinking on a 3 element Yagi. Yeah, I talked to a guy the other day with an 8 element beam. And matter of fact, you can watch the video. It was last week. This guy in Tennessee, he was slamming in here, and he comes in so good. He has an 8 element. They should make people work out, not get. Exactly. Well, that's what I do. Piece of me. I work out and I take my vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, and I take NAC. I take NAC and I take a shake every morning, like a really good isogenic shake. So I feel good. I feel good. You know what I mean? Maybe one day I was thinking of a quad box setup. Yeah, I had a full quad unspoken. I had a 2 element full quad, high gain quad. It's called an Eliminator 2, made by High Gain. I like high gain antennas. I've just bought another one, and it's coming, but not a quad. It's an Omni. And it was about the same dimensions as the Avanti PDL2 beams, except it had 2 wires around the driver and 1 around the reflector. Yeah. I do vitamin C. Yeah, orange juice, good. Yeah, I do. Every morning, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, CoQ10, and NAC. And I do have zinc. If I feel something coming on, I also have zinc. And then I take an isogenic shake every morning with a banana and a spoonful of something else. And there's some other good stuff. So been doing it for years. I don't even remember the last time I was sick. But if I ever do get this sickness, trust me, I will do a vlog on it. Every day I'll get on here if it doesn't kill me, and I will do a vlog. Does anyone still use, they call the Ringo? I remember the Ringo antennas. I remember those. Halfway. Yeah, I know the one. I don't know if anybody uses them much anymore. They were a big thing back in the day. Same with the Stardusters. Now, Avanti made Stardusters, and Starduster antennas, they are remaking them again, just like a lot of the high gains, like the high gain penetrator. They're redoing them again. Other companies are making these replicas of those antennas. The original. I used to have a high gain super golden penetrator 500 back in the day, omnidirectional 5/8 wave. It worked awesome. And I wish I would have kept that antenna. Really good antenna. So don't have that. Don't have my original antennas, but I do have an IMAX and an Antron up. And they're pretty, the reason I like IMAX and Antron, they're very simple antennas to install. You just screw them together like a pool cue, crank them up with a wrench. The match is pretty good most of the time. You don't have to dick around with the rings too much, the tuning rings. And I got pretty much a flat match from 1 to 40. And even up above that, it's not bad either. So I can't complain. I heard the new one I'm getting is the high gain Venom, and it's going to be pretty easy to tune too. So we'll see. Well, maybe we'll contact you with the new antenna when I get it up. I'll wait till the spring and I'll get her up on my roof. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. And maybe we'll get a video of us putting it up. Hey, Joe, do you know of a local? Billy Bob, Billy Goat. I think it was few locals. Oh, you mean Billy Bob? You must be Billy Bob, the Dragon Mountain Control on the south end of Salt Spring Island. I wonder if that's the guy you're referring to. Jimmy. His name's Jim. Have you seen the YouTube video on the YouTube where there's a hustler kid getting his radio smashed up in the background? No way. Really? Who's smashing it? No way. I haven't seen that. I want to see it. Send me the link. Put the link here, man. I want to see it. Or send me the link. I'm on Facebook as well, by the way. If you're not on Facebook, I am on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter. And I do have an Instagram account too. Yeah, no, I'm wondering if Diesel Burner, are you referring to Jimmy, Billy Bob, that used to live on the Mount Tuam or Mount Bruce on the very south end of Salt Spring? Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while. Matter of fact, I'll show you something what he gave me. A couple of years ago, he gave me these meters because I know Billy Bob, right? So he gave me these meters and say, Joe, next time I see you, I'm going to give you some meters. And those are really good meters he gave me. They actually have lights in them too. So I haven't seen Billy Bob for a while, but then again, I've been retired since October, and I would often see him when I was going into one of the parks, right? So that would probably be Billy Bob. Jim, his name's Jim. Older guy, he's in his 70s. He's about 72 years old now. He might still be around. I haven't seen him, put it this way, I haven't seen him in the obituary. And I know it sounds morbid, I read the obituary every week, and I have not seen Billy Bob in the obituary. I'm guessing Billy Bob's still alive. Jim, his name's Jim. Yeah, he drives a truck with a dog in the back that barks a lot. Drives through town. I always give his dog a treat. Yeah, fine. Yeah, send me that video, Unspoken Answers. I want to see it. So that's got to be the guy, Diesel. So he used to get out really good, living on the south end of Salt Spring Island on top of the mountain, up at 2,000 something foot elevation. He would talk to Seattle locally. Catbox 321. Do you remember Ian? Do you remember Ian that used to be on there too? The Night Owl? Night Owl, Ian. He used to also talk to Billy Bob. Now, Ian was a friend of mine too, and he passed away, I guess, about 5 years ago now. Ian, really nice guy. He used to call himself the Night Owl, and he was here also on Salt Spring Island. Night Owl, Ian, and he ran a Browning Golden Eagle base station, and I'm trying to think what type of antenna he had. He did have some sort of omnidirectional up there. I will. If I see, somebody else mentioned that too. Have you seen Billy Bob? And I have not seen Billy Bob around for a while. And I will mention that to him. Diesel Burner 1202. Yeah. I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's still around. I like him. He's a nice guy. Really nice guy. Look up title video called YouTube. CB rate of the 1970s citizens, 70s citizens. Look up the title video called YouTube on CB Answers. Okay. Let's just see. 70s of the 70s citizens title. 70s citizens. Okay, I wrote it down. So after I'm this, I'll check it out. That's cool. Sounds like something I got to see. I like funny videos. I'm just trying to find that Louisiana guy I talked to. Razorback, come on. Alabama. This is the guy right here, I think. Alabama skip shooter, I think.
Are you struggling to lose weight no matter how much you diet or exercise?
Just a minute. There's an ad on here right now. I'm just going to see.
I heard a station coming back to 612 out there. This is 612 on the side. Bring it back.
72. I think that was the skip shooter. The kid is a hustler. No school today, hustler. The kid is hustler. No school today, hustler. Really, that's interesting. I'll have to watch it. I like good YouTube videos. So, and like I say, this channel is more random. I've had this channel since April 2012. So it's my newest YouTube channel. And like I say, I just have been throwing a lot of radio videos on there because I think they're kind of fun. And I know there's still a lot of CB radio guys out there in skip land that like to watch that stuff. Skip Shooter 181. I may have talked to him, though. I'm thinking it sounds familiar. And I've talked to Louisiana a lot. And when the DX is rolling in here, Louisiana always comes in. Louisiana is a given. It's always coming in here when the DX is flowing in. So that does ring a bell. I'm guessing I've probably heard him or I've talked to that guy before. I like the handle. Skip Shooter 181. That's a good handle. I should have named myself the Skip Shooter because that's what I do. I shoot a lot of skip. Motormouth Mall. I know who he is. Motormouth Mall is down on Channel 6 all the time, AM. I hear him all the time. Motormouth Mall from the Bayou. I've actually talked to him. Matter of fact, I have a video of me talking to the guy on this channel. It'll be there on AM. Motormouth Mall. Right on. That guy's running a lot of power, man. Lots of power. Mega illegal power. I bet you that guy's running 10,000 watts plus, and he's probably gone through a big beam for sure. That much power would freaking fry my antenna. You got to have an antenna that can handle the power, right? That's crazy. Motormouth Mall, they call him. He's in the swamplands of Louisiana, and usually he's on channel and on AM mode. I've never heard him on sideband. I usually hear that guy in channel 6. Channel 6 on AM, talking with all his real loud buddies down in the deep south. I'm going to try to find that. Let's find it. Motormouth Mall. Tennessee. There's a lot of videos I have here. It's hard to keep up with them. Oh well, I'll find it in there somewhere. Kilowatts. Yeah, he's running a lot of kilowatts. He's probably running 10 kilowatts, right? 10 kilowatts. So like 10,000 watts, 10 kW. I know these guys got big freaking linear amplifiers, right? Be lucky to get anyone here under a kilowatt. Oh, is that right? Yeah, I hear nobody really monitors CB radio unless you're causing a lot of problem and bleeding over to someone's stereo system, or somebody making someone's garage door open up and down. You're pushing so much power, then you're going to get a complaint, and then the Department of Communications or federal, whatever they call it, DOT, DOC. It used to be DOC, Department of Communications. Man, they'd come and check me out a couple of times at my last place. 3-phase. Yeah, you need a lot of juice to run a 10 kilowatt boot. And can you imagine your power bill? Dirty Diaper's in there. Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you in there, waving back at you. Dirty Diaper. Hey, check out Dirty Diaper's channel. Dirty Diaper, you're in North Carolina, right? North or South Carolina. He's got a good channel. Lots of good videos on there. So good to see you in there, man. And I talk to North and South Carolina lots. So maybe one of these days I'm going to talk to Dirty Diaper 21. 612 AM is waving back. 9 Alpha Uniform 791. And when you're on the sideband is waving back to you. So good to hear you in there. I'm in my radio room now. And well, it's actually my man cave. It's kind of my radio room / my man cave. So good to hear you in there. Hope you're not getting any of that cold weather. I know some areas of South Carolina are going to be getting some cold weather soon. If you're inland, I saw temperatures down to like near 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 in some areas of South Carolina. The cold is coming down. So be careful down there, man. Stay warm. I think if you're on the coast of South Carolina, it's going to be a lot better. You got that. You're going to be regulated from the ocean, the Atlantic, but inland from the ocean, there is a deep freeze headed south. And I know it's going to be right down, going down into Mississippi too. So I've been watching the weather, and I know I talked to a lot of people on the radio in some of those areas. So hopefully it won't get too cold where you are. We've already had our deep freeze here about a week ago. We got down to 20 Fahrenheit, which is pretty damn cold for our islands. My old handle kind of really started off. I have a handle kind of really started off. NQ382. I don't use that anymore. Full official WIKGB7. Cool. It's a cool number. Nice call handle. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Dirty Diaper's got a cool YouTube channel. So you guys check it out, and also check out my other YouTube channel, Banana JSSI. There are radio stuff on there too. Where is 321 Catbox? 321 Catbox is in Victoria. He is in Victoria. So I'm on Salt Spring Island. I'm in the Southern Gulf Islands off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia. If you know your geography, Washington State, if you go out into the ocean, there's the San Juan Islands. We're in the same archipelago as the San Juan Islands. We can look at Washington State, San Juan Islands, and Catbox is in Victoria. I think that's where he is, right? You're in Victoria. Let me go. Okay, Catbox. Yeah, Victoria is the capital of our province in the southern end of Vancouver Island. You have to radio once. My dad used to have license for use call sign VGO. Oh, cool. My mom and dad used to have so he was a ham radio. My mom and dad used to have a shortwave receiver when I was a kid too. So I used to always listen to that. That was back in the early to mid 70s. So I always listened to, like radio stations from around the world on that, which was kind of cool. I have a really good shortwave radio. You can't see it. It's down there. I have a DX302. Looks like a ham receiver. I bought that 42 years ago, and it's still working good. It's a digital readout on it. It's a DX302. Radio Shack put them out back in the day. I don't know if you can see it. It's down underneath that desk, right underneath there. I'll do a video on it sometime for you guys. It works really well. 42 years later, man, not too bad. I bought that when I was 16 years old. Now I'm 57, and I'm still using some of the old junk I did back in the day. Way back in the day. You know what I mean? Time flies, eh? So, yeah, we got to listen for Dirty Diaper out there. I don't know what channel you monitor. When I'm on AM, it's always 28. I like 28. I work a lot of DX on 28, and then I just kind of move around the band. I like to fish for skip. So what I do a lot of times, I'll go to a channel where there's nobody on, and I start calling skip land, and we see if anybody bites. They don't make things like exactly. You know what? Just dude, you're right. A lot of times they make a lot of crap, a lot of junk nowadays. Made in China, junk. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Back in the old days, you can still use that stuff and it still works. You get stuff nowadays and it seems to last a few years and it's broken. That's why they want it. They want it to break. They do want it to break. They want you to buy junk. So you go back and buy more, right? You know, so that's the way she goes. I think RCI radios are made in the States. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're made in the U.S. It's like my Harley Davidson, made in the U.S. Good bike, built well. I like things that are built well. I don't like junk. You get what you pay for. That's the way I see it. You get what you pay for, folks. You're going to spend the money, you're going to get something good. You're going to get something cheap. Well, it might not last that long. You know, I'm amazed my old Citizen MPL5 in my truck. I got that in my mobile. Citizen MPL5 Japanese, and still works well. I bought that sideband radio when I was a kid, 15 years old, and it's still going, man. Except it's been through a couple of antennas. I used to run skip shooter on it, ugly stick back in the day. When I bought it, I had an ugly stick with it back in 79, 80, and then a skip shooter, had the tunable end on it. And then I ran a Rad Shack mag mount, and now I'm running a Tram 300 mag mount, and it seems to work okay. I actually worked at Iowa station and an Indiana station in my portable. Sounds like they're dishing out dinner down there, man. I'm getting hungry. Wendy made some good pea soup tonight. So she bought this ham the other day, and we didn't eat all the ham. So her and her son made an awesome pea soup. So that's what I'm having for dinner, a split pea soup with ham, and I'm looking forward to it. So I guess we'll go for a few more minutes there, folks. We'll wrap her up, and maybe I'll put another skip video on here. I did kind of like anything Golden Eagle. I did. Yeah, Golden Eagle. Save that much. They were expensive. Remember the Golden Eagle D104s? And then there was also the big base station too, Browning Golden Eagle. Peas are so good. I love them. So split pea soup with chunks of ham in it. It's going to have carrots in it. It's going to have everything else. And I think it's getting really close to dinner time. So right now it's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time here. And the current temperature is a cool 1.5 degrees Celsius. So it's cool out there, 1.5 degrees Celsius. So it's around 34, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm thinking somewhere around there. MK3 base. Yeah, my friend had one of those. He had a Browning Golden Eagle base station here. It was like the receiver and the transmitter. And unfortunately passed away. And I don't know what happened to that radio. It was a tube. I think it was a tube job radio, old radio from the 1970s. And that's what he used to talk on. Pam's in there. Hey, Pam, I missed you the first time. I saw you comment, and I'd already turned off the live stream. And unfortunately, the first live stream I did on here, I went down into the living room to socialize, and I got caught up in that. Didn't realize how fast time had flown. I come back up here. There was people in here on the live stream, and where was I? I was down there. So anyway, Pam, good to see you in there. And I think Pam, you're in Wisconsin, right? So if we hear Pam in there, because I talk to Wisconsin a lot too. Okay, cool. We talk to Wisconsin a lot on the DX, on that radio there, and on my other radio. If we hear you in there, Pam, we will be calling for you. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, you're Wisconsin, and you do have a beam antenna. Dirty Dipe, watch out. That soup will stick to your ribs good. But it's going to be good. Going to be good soup. All right, Dirty Diaper 21. Take care, my friend. And we'll listen for you out there on the frequency, 73s. Southern part. Okay, I used to talk to a guy in Wisconsin every day for about 2 months back in 1980. I talked to this guy. He was my age. And every day we used to get on there and talk, 1980. And I was 16 years old. And it was amazing. I had this friend in Wisconsin, and the DX would come in that good. And a lot of times we talked for 30 minutes or a half hour. It would be on lower, was it 27? It was way up high. It was way up high. It was it when I got my, no, actually, no, sorry. It was before, it was 27. It was in the free band. I'm just thinking it was 27,805, or maybe it was below this, maybe 27,735. But it was late 1980. It would have been the fall of 1980. And I talked to that guy for about 2 months every day. You're from Brazil. Sweet. Now that's where I want to be. I want to be in Brazil. Be a Z. Be a Z. I want to be in Brazil. Definitely need to be there. I have an N2 flat side dipole with a rotor. Wow. That's awesome. Well, you got a good setup. What type of radio are you running? I'm curious, Pam. What are you running for a radio? I used to have beam antennas. My very first beam antenna I had was a V-Quad, a 2-element flat side V-Quad back in the 1970s. And then in 1980, January 1980, I put up a 2-element eliminator 2 high gain quad up on a tower, 36-foot, 1 wavelengths. I would really love to make actual contact. No real reason. Cool. Well, one of these days we will. RCI, 270N2. Oh, I don't know that one. I gotta look that up. Let me write it down. RCI 270N2. I have RCI 25. Okay, so this one here is my 2980 WX, 25 watts, and the other one's 120 to 150. It's peaked up. I got a RCI 2970 DX over there, the other one. So that one cranks out the juice. Good one. Yeah, I think mine's about 150 PEP, the RCI. Well, let me go find out. Let me go turn her on. Find out for you. Hang on. Let's see here. We'll go to sideband. Yellow. Turn her up. Hello. Okay. That's right. Just over 150 watts. That's cranked right up there. So that one cranks out at 150 watts. It's good radio. Like I say, I bought that one from a guy in New York, used, God, maybe close to 10 years ago. I don't know, something like that. I'm going to say, maybe it was, it's close to 10 years ago. Something like that. My 50 AM is 125. It puts out about 50 on AM. That one, they're good radios, RCI. Cool. Fire in the wire. Well, Pam, we're definitely going to be able to talk then. So we'll listen for you out there. These bigger radios, I got Texas Star hooked up to this one, 500, half a kilowatt. So this one cranks out the power, half a kilowatt. And then I got a 350 high drive Texas Star for my TRC 458 down there. So that's cool. The 2970. Yeah. So I got to look that one up. So that must be a newer radio. We're going to be listening for you. There's not a lot of women on CB radio, and it's a shame. It's very few women I actually hear talking skip. There's one down in Arkansas called the Lady 111. And I talked to her, and actually I got a video or two of me talking to her, Lady 111 in the Razorback state. And you know what? I think in the last month, I've heard maybe 2 ladies. That's it on the skip. It's all guys. The factory Yaesu I got is supposed to be 400 watts. It'll be 100 watts for sure, I bet. Yeah. So I got to check out your radio, Pam. It sounds like a nice radio. Huh. That sounds cool. 200 watts PEP. That's plenty of power. You don't need much more than that, man. And like I rarely use the heavy duty power in this thing. So if I'm talking DX and somebody has a tough time hearing me, I will crank up the juice. It's variable. I can go from now next to nothing all the way up to half a kilowatt. But it's not often I need that much power. Really, 100 watts will really do it most of the time. Depends on your antenna too. So if you're driving it directional through your antenna, 100 watts is plenty of power. I think I got to eat something soon, man. These guys are eating down in the kitchen, and I'm up here flapping my gums. So this has been an awesome live stream. Usually not so many people on this channel in the live stream. They're mostly on my other channel, Banana JSSI. Like I did a live stream yesterday on that one, 3.5 hours, and a lot of people in there. 125 to 150. Well, you know what? I'm on AM 285, and on the sideband, I'm on 27,385. Okay, so call for me out there sometime, Pam, when the skip is running. Point your beam towards the North Pacific. Our island is about 100 miles north of Seattle as the crow flies, and point your beam here. But 30 is good to work. Yeah, absolutely. And like, especially if you're driving it through the beam, your directional antenna is going to amplify your power anyway, right? It does magnify the power for sure. And I don't know how many dB gain your beam is, but I'm sure it's probably pretty good. I'm hoping to get another beam one of these days. I do have a high gain antenna coming. I ordered, and hopefully it'll be here soon. And I will put it up on the roof in the spring. I'm not about to get up in my slippery metal roof in the wintertime and slide off and break my neck. So I'll wait till it's dry. I'll put the antenna up on the roof. Oh, you don't have a beam. Oh, okay. I thought you had a beam. Okay, dipole. Cool. Dipole antennas are good too. I'm running an IMAX 2000 and an Antron 99, and soon I will have I'll have that high gain antenna here too. It's a 5/8 wave ground plane, flat side dipole. Cool, nice. I have a dipole right here. I could put flat side. I just don't have it hooked up. This one right here. That's a dipole antenna right there. Wire antenna, right? I had it set up before on the flat side. I just got to put it back out. Oh, you have it on a rotor. That's interesting. Wow, that's really cool. On a rotor, a dipole. Here we have times through the year too. I'm assuming local Black Native fellows connect each other. Some I can only act this bar. Yeah, well, we hear a lot of Mexican DX coming near unspoken. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. Anyway, guys, I should roll. I think dinner's ready. Let me just find out. Are you guys eating dinner? I'm going to come down. Yeah. Okay. I'll come down. Okay, guys, you know what? Sorry about that. I'm going to have to roll because it's dinner time here. Tubing at 8 foot 6. That's cool, man. Right on, Pam. Well, I'm going to listen for you on there. Got to listen for Pam. If the DX is coming in tomorrow, what channel do you usually hang out on? 20. Are you on sideband? It's food time. I'm going to get my dinner. Yeah. Hey, piece of me. Good to see you in there too. Let me know how that Washingtoni Robusta Palm is doing. Yeah, I gotta go eat dinner. They're all sitting at the table. 38. Okay, Pam. We'll listen for you on 38. I'm 791 on sideband. Okay, 9 Alpha Uniform 791 is my sideband number. And well, you know, if you ever want a QSL, there's my cards. I've had cards for years. There's my QSL card. There's my number right there, 791. I'm 9 Alpha Uniform 791. I've had that number for 43 years now. You're 505. Okay, Pam, I'll write it down, Pam. And you're in Wisconsin. Okay. 2VOW 505. 505. Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. Okay, you take care. I'm going to see how the wash this weekend. Yeah, hopefully the wash is doing good, piece of me. Let me know. Post pictures of it on my Facebook group. Okay, I'm going to get some food, unspoken answers. About the QSL card too. Myself, I can't. Doesn't seem any. There's got to be someone on you could design one and take it to a print shop and they'll print them for you, I'm sure. You could even do business size ones, business card ones if you want. I might try some USB. Okay, cool. Well, listen for me out there, man. Voice of Wisconsin. I like that. Okay, I got to go eat, Pam. Okay, catch you guys later. Pam, piece of me, Camel, everybody else that's in there. If you're not in there now, goodbye. Take care. Thanks for joining in the live stream. I need some of that split pea soup before they eat it all. I'm starving. 6:41 p.m. Pacific time here on the Gulf Islands. And do appreciate you guys joining in the live stream. And I'll see you next time. Next time I might be live streaming on Gulf Island Rock, which is Wendy's YouTube channel. Gulf, then Island Rock. So there's 2 words, Gulf, and Island Rock is 1 word. And that's Wendy's YouTube channel. And I do like to stream on there. And also write down Banana JSSI. That's my main YouTube channel, Banana JSSI. I live stream on there the most. All right. Okay. So take care. Cheers to you all. I'm going to put cheers and 73s right there. All right. Take care, everybody. You guys are awesome. I got to go eat. My stomach says eat. All right. Bye now.